Okay, some small correction regarding the one on the time millisecond to transmit one character, right? Because just now the one was the time taken to transmit 1 bit. Sorry, I made a mistake. Transmit 1 bit. But now because a character, right? What is a character? Okay, now just now because when we take the inverse of this, right? 1 over this board, right? Okay, one is actually you're only transmitting 1 bit. The time taken for 1 bit. But remember your character got several bits, including the start bit, parity bit, and the stop bit. So that is called 1 frame. Okay. Now this is what I mean. Now let's say, for example, if you look at just now the character, right? If you go back again on this one, okay. Now this is called a frame. Sorry, this one is called 1 frame. This is another frame. Because when you transmit this, in order to transmit the character, right, you need the whole lot to send. Not 1 bit only, wrong, 1 bit correction. Transmit the whole thing. That means you need the start bit, the 8 data bits, for example, right? 1 parity bit, then 1 stop bit. Now, how many bits are there all together here? Can count, right? Can count easily. Count how many? 11 bits, right? So this 11 bit represent 1 frame of the character U, for example. Okay, so you need to consider the whole 11 bits. Okay, you transmit out. So how do we determine the time taken to transmit 1 character? This is what you do. Now this is very important. This one very important. You need to be very clear on this one. Okay. Now, in order to transmit, the question was like, transmit this character, right? This character means the whole 11 bits. Because 11 bits is 1 frame. And that represents that character. So what you do is that you're given the baud rate, right? Let's say 9600. You need to take the 11 bits. Okay, because how I get 11 bits? Because I got start bit, 8 data bit, 1 parity, 1 stop. Total got 11 bits. So you need to take the 11 bits, okay, divide by the baud rate. Okay, that will give you the frame, the time taken. For example, this one, 11 bit divided by 9600, 9600 is 1.15 milliseconds. Now this is the time to transmit so-called the 1 frame. 1 frame means 1 character. Okay, so you need to do a little correction on just now the page 2, 1.2b. The time taken is going to be how many? 11 bits, right? 11 bits divided by 2400. Can you do that little correction there? Okay, my apology, my mistake. I thought it's 1 transmitting 1 bit, so I went just 1 divided by the 4.
Would we be asked to find 1 bit?
Read the question, but likely they ask you the time taken to transmit 1 frame.
1 frame, right?
1 character. Okay, so do a little correction there for the page 2, the last part. So you take 11 bits divided by 2400. That should be your answer. Okay, so likewise for this one, page 3, right? Page 3, how many milliseconds required? Page 3, question 1.2D, transmit this character, same thing. Yours will be 10, right? 10 bits divided by 9600. Transmit 10 bits because there are only 7 data bits on question 1.2C. Okay, so follow this one. Very important. This is a very essential and important slide. Or this one. Need an example here. You all have this slide, I think. You all have this serial of this PowerPoint slide with you, I think. Okay. Take a look at this example. This is a good example. If you want to transmit 3 characters, let's say A, B, C, you need to multiply by 3. Find the time taken to transmit 1 frame or 1 character. 1 frame equals to 1 character. Count the total number of bits, divide by the baud rate, 10 bits divided by this, give me the time. This is the time taken to transmit 1 frame. Okay, 1 frame. But if you got 3 characters, means times 3. This one, okay? Very important example here. Need to take note. This one. If this is a very important example for you. In your quiz, right, very likely they will give you a few characters to transmit. So they ask you this question. They give you some baud rate, they give you the number of data bits, those kind of information like the one on top. Okay, then they ask you, okay, if I transmit the character help, H-E-L-P, what's the time taken? Let's say help 4 letter, right? H-E-L-P, like 4 characters. So it's 4 frames, right now. If using the same information here, if you transmit 4 characters, just times 4.